Depending on which lens you are looking through, the protest is either akin to a festival with a peace, love and harmony vibe,
Move, guys, move!
or an outfit barely under control, dominated by extremists and agitators, where violent resistance could explode at any moment. The takeover of Parliament grounds, the protesters have named it Freedom Village.
Rest in children!
It's a protest of many parts, from causes ranging from the use of 1080 to opposition to Three Waters. But the majority are here because of the government's response to COVID, and they want an immediate end to the mandate.
So is this the security? Where's the security?
It is this group I've come to talk to, in particular the three women who set up Voices for Freedom.
You guys started it, yeah? The three of you? Three mums.
Three mums.
Voices for Freedom is one of the key players at the protest. Claire Deeks, Alia Brand and Libby Johnson.
The main thing is we have been collaborating with the police. In general, that has been a very good relationship. It's just been these few
isolated sort of
incidents.
That's what you hear about a lot though. Don't you?
It makes better news, I think.
Voices for Freedom says it now has more than 100,000 members. It provides legal support to unvaccinated people who have lost their jobs, campaigns against mask wearing, and was behind a major pamphlet drop questioning the effectiveness of vaccines. To their detractors, who are many, these women are peddlers of misinformation and a threat to public health.
Everybody here has had a personal experience, either somebody they know or themselves has been injured, has lost a job, their children affected, they can't play their sport or they can't play music. So it's a deep.
It is, and it's bigger than that, I think, as well, because we've created this huge chasm in New Zealand, and we don't live like that. We're a really close country. People know it's like 2 degrees of separation. So there's this divide that people actually don't want. They don't like it, and I think when they realise what was happening, New Zealand don't want to live in a segregated society.
You're out of work.
I am out of work. Yeah, I've had requests to join productions, and I have to let them know my vaccine status, because that's the way the world is these days.
Jared Connon is a screen producer. He's worked in the film industry for almost 3 decades on multi-million-dollar productions. The argument is, though, that we're in a pandemic and you probably might need to get over yourself.
Well, yeah, that's right. And look, whether or not you're pro-vaccine or not for the vaccine, it's everybody's got that choice to make. What I don't believe in is that I have to be excluded from society because of my choice.
Out of work, Jared Connon is now making a documentary about the protest, and his cameras were rolling on the day police arrested 122 protesters, including Jared himself.
Prior to that day, I've been down actively, being part of the protest and supporting everybody who's here. I live in town, so I'm not camped here. That day in particular, I came down midday, I think it was. As I walked in, a friend said, the police are trying to force everybody out of here. They've created a line. They're coming across the grounds, and we're trying to hold our ground. And at that point you realise, well, if they're doing this and everybody's joined here and we're holding a line, then I'll do my bit and I'll hold the line for as long as I can.
Hold the line! This is a sad day for the New Zealand police.
Then they send in what I term as the hit squad, but the big guys. They step into the line. They're over 6 foot. They're there for action.
Square up, do your back.
Then, when they took me out, they just grappled me by my neck And they pull one arm, take you by your neck, and then they pull you out of the line, judo throw you to the ground and handcuff you. Everybody's had a different experience, but that was just my experience. And then you're sent out the back to be processed. And as I said to them in the line, I was standing there and I said, I'm here so my kids can go back to art class. Is this really necessary? This is what I want, a better future for the children. I have to come down here to protest. I have to come down here and stand on the front line, and then you have to arrest me because of that. And the young girl who processed me out the back, she asked the same question, why did you do this? Is it really worth it? And I said, yes, it's worth it. It's for my kids. I'm doing this because I believe in what I stand for. And so it is. It's part of the process because nobody will listen. So we have to go to this point to make people listen.
As soon as that dialogue begins, as soon as the government begins the dialogue, that's when we start ending this thing, de-escalating this thing. We're waiting for the government. The dialogue has to begin. They can't just ignore this.
So are you telling me that you and your supporters will leave when the government commit to ending the mandate?
I think it takes more than a commitment. I think the mandate needs to be ended. Ended, then we leave.
Let me put it like this. If they said to you, we are going to end the mandate on this date, do you think people out there would leave?
Yeah. I think anybody can see there's a lot of disparate views down there. There are people that are saying that they won't leave until we don't even have this government or any government in place. But the vast majority of people are talking to us and saying that if they could see the mandates were dropped, they would be minded to leave.
Today we received 50 kgs of fresh fish. We got tuna and snapper today. So tonight we've got tacos that we're serving both with snapper and also as a little beef combination as well. And then you move on to getting a little bit of salad, a little bit of guacamole, a little bit of kimchi. And of course, the barbecue runs from 7 till 9.
How many people are you feeding?
I reckon we're probably putting out between 1,500 and 2,000 meals a day.
And it's all from food donated?
From the community, food is all donated. This fishing boat rang us a couple of days ago and they said, we're coming on in, we've got this fish, do you want it? And we're all donations based.
Is it a surprise too, the generosity?
Well, I knew that there was a lot of people that were quietly supportive of those that were maybe a little bit more outspoken about ending mandates, but the overwhelming support brings a tear to my eye every day. Yeah, it really does.
Well, you look pretty busy.
We're going to do it. We're crazy busy. And not only us, but there's the Hare Krishna tent, which feeds 1,500 people a day. And then we've also got the wonderful Kaitaia charity, Whānau One, and they're feeding a lot of people in the day as well. So we're all doing it together.
It's lovely. It's really lovely here. There's a lot of families here, and people are really looking out for each other.
Right, so there's a whole sort of childcare centre here.
So they can also pick up extra clothes, and there's all sorts of things here that you need for kids. So if you need stuff for kids, this is where you come.
And so something like this, that's just help yourself.
Yes, yourself. Everything's free.
Okay, so who's paying for everything?
New Zealanders are paying for everything, just like with us, the whole way along.
So there's not a great big donation from...
If anyone wants to give a great big donation, they can.
No, but
no, they're really not.
So they talk about the international donations from like...
No. It's the same for Voices for Freedom. Voices of Freedom has come under a lot of criticism over the last year too, for people are making these outrageous claims that somehow we're funded by people overseas. We're not. We are funded by everyday hardworking Kiwis.
But do you have some kind of wealthy Kiwis that are giving you maybe a bit more than a small donation?
There's always wealthy Kiwis that like to donate to philanthropists. It depends how big is big. I don't think there's anything
not
that anyone
actually,
would consider big.
honestly, I'm not aware in this event of
Oh,
any...
not here.
No, I'm
But
not.
for you guys?
No, for us, it's generally like, it's crazy, $28, because that's one of the options. That is our most common donation. Hundreds and thousands of people donating small amounts. We did have some larger donations. We went out privately to see people who would contribute to the kids' case, because people have such a lack of faith now in the judicial system that we didn't want to use everybody's $28 donations
to go,
To pay
you know,
for
to go
a
to the
very
High Court.
expensive court. Yeah.
Because I'm a lawyer, and it's terrible that we can't.
It's okay.
It's really bad. So we didn't take people. It was $28. We went and said, does anybody want to help fund this case? And we think it's really important to do it. And for that case, there was a handful of people who donated the $200,000 or so that it cost to put everything on the line to try for that case.
What case?
And the children's case to stop the rollout of the 5 to 11-year-olds. And the judge in that case, during the court case, actually mentioned anti-vaxxer several times. Like, I'm glad we didn't spend everybody's $28. People are so, like, they give us $10 and they write, and it's amazing. Yeah.
Should be out there fucking locking up real criminals. Like those people that wear suits walking in and out of the fucking courthouse. They're there trying to fight for your fucking freedom too.
There does seem to be some people that are particularly aggro, particularly fired up. Yes, most people are saying calm down, calm down, calm down. But, you know, by association, you all get lumped in together.
You do.
I mean, this is the headlines this morning. Water bottle hurled at police during clash near Parliament. 300 police were deployed with, concrete barriers were installed on Monday. 8 arrests were made. Human waste was thrown at police. I mean, all this is true.
Yeah, but it all needs
context. But the other thing the thing is,
health warnings, raw sewage after occupation area makes its way into the harbour. I mean,
well, when we can't, obviously, we're not denying that these events may have taken place. So
but
it's
also you can't see this in isolation. There has to be seen alongside the fact, which is conveniently being ignored, that the group have come together. They're working as hard as they can. Most people are working as hard as they can. They've put a greeting security-like system in place that has their eye on these sorts of things, that tries to keep things calm, keep things happy. There are singing.
So no
and
drinking,
things.
no smoking.
There's none of that stuff.
No drugs inside.
There are signs all over the place that say
outside,
this. Look, we can't control what happens outside a protest. We're only able to control inside the protest.
But also
but we can't even control that. I mean, this is the thing.
I mean,
they're individual people.
We're not here to say, we didn't organise this event. Nobody organised it. It's decentralised. Hundreds of individuals coming from all over. So we're not here to defend the actions of individuals that are there. We can't do that, and we don't condone it. We don't tolerate it. It's simply, we can't deny that there's things that are happening, whether they're plants or not, or however that is occurring. But at the end of the day, we're saying we're reasonable people. We're doctors, we're firemen, we're policemen, we're mothers, we're children. We're all in there, and we're just simply asking a member of Parliament to come and speak with us.
And so just finally, do you think this thing could blow apart?
I don't believe that anybody that shares the values, that cares about the things that we care about, has participated in any acts that are being reported about by the police.
Who the fuck are you?
They're throwing the water bottles, letting off firecrackers, throwing human excrement. You don't think that they're anyone...
I would, just from even speaking to people, they're not in our groups.
Can I just say that when I go, at night time, when the police come and stuff, things get pretty aggro.
But that's it, isn't it? When the police come, like Libby was even talking.
Imagine if the police turned up on your doorstep in riot gear if you're at home. You'd feel pretty aggro.
Yeah, but they're not at home.
Frightened.
They're not at home.
But I think
maybe they should go home.
But I think
that's what's being suggested.
As soon as the government starts talking, all of this will start de-escalating. You know that it will help. It will help with a bit of goodwill. It will help build a bit of trust. They can just start bringing things down. Actually, start communicating. That's all they're asking. Start talking.
I mean, they talk with the mongrel mob and the Taliban, but they won't talk with us.